Good evening, YouTube and friends watching from across the world. Welcome to another episode of Crime Time with DutyRon, a retired NYPD detective with 20 plus years in law enforcement. If you like all things true crime related and everything from a police perspective, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you will get all things DutyRon when I go live or when I upload another video. And tonight, I have a special guest. But before I introduce our special guest, I want you guys to understand two things. Number one, tonight is all about respect and honor and dignity for Suzanne Morphew. That's who we're going to be talking with. We're going to talk with one of her family members, Tommy Owen, her stepbrother, who you guys who have subscribed to me, you've seen him on Profiling Evil. You've also seen him on the interview room with Chris McDonough. And tonight we're going to get into a conversation with Tommy about his sister. I want to keep it obviously respectful, and I know that you guys are all top notch and high class. So I appreciate each and every one of you interacting positively in this live stream. Special thank you to my moderators, my channel members, and all of my Patreon supporters, and all the folks who positively interact in this community. The law enforcement community is strong here on YouTube, and we are here to advocate and also to support victims and their families. And that's what this is all about. We're all about respect and dignity. So tonight, without further ado, I'm going to get into quickly showing you a little bit of past with Suzanne Morphew. As you know, we as law enforcement professionals, retired, especially Profiling Evil and the interview room, went above and beyond the call of duty of covering the missing person case of Suzanne Morphew, who is now turned into a murder investigation or charges against her husband. I don't even like to refer to him as husband, but I'll say her ex-husband, Barry Morphew. We're going to get into watching a little bit of media to get the tone of this live stream going. And what we're going to be talking about here is, again, is respect and dignity, respect and honor for Suzanne Morphew. So I'm going to bring you back to a blast from the past. This is a candlelight vigil for Suzanne Morphew in her hometown with Andy. And I'm just going to play a couple of minutes of this so you guys can see real quick a little bit of the media here.
I came here tonight to say some prayers for Suzanne and hopefully for her return here to Alexandria where she grew up. And what a wonderful town and community we have here. I asked for volunteers to go out on September 23rd and search for her again. And our mayor said, I'm going. I mean, that speaks volumes. And I'm here tonight not because I want to be, but I have to be. Got to find my little sister and have to bring closure to my family. It's been a horrible event. It's been long enough. And yeah, we were quiet for a while because the investigators asked that of us. But it's time now to rally the troops and go west on the 23rd of September and find her. I've got volunteers from the survivors from the Benghazi in the Middle East. Two of them are going to be there doing GPS coordinates. Chris and Mike on Profiling Evil have been a tremendous help to me. They're going to line up a lot of professionals to help out in this search. I've got almost 35 volunteers all ready to go west. And anybody that wants to go, join in. We're taking boats, kayaks, four-wheelers. I need dirt bikers. I need rock climbers, mountain climbers. We need four-wheelers, everything you can imagine that might run over that terrain. I'm hoping to get 1,000 or more people. And we'll be taking iPhones and cell phones. They'll GPS coordinate us. They'll work us on grids, and we'll search. And I want to bring my sister home.
How wonderful. Okay, let me just quickly get myself back on screen. And I'm a one-man wrecking crew here tonight. So my producer, Josh, came in late, and I am handling every bit of the production here. So I apologize for sometimes it's a little raw, but I'm going to get my point across. This is now the second gathering outside in Salida, and this was a beautiful event. I believe Profiling Evil's team. I don't know if Mike was there, but I think Profiling Evil's team was here to cover this live. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because I do have Tommy waiting in the green room, but I'm going to show you quickly this quick clip from the Chaffee County and Salida. So let me just bring this up for you quickly. Bear with me. I am just a retired detective. So here we go, guys.
At holiday, members coming together to bring awareness for missing Chaffee County woman Suzanne Morphew. It's been over 6 months since Suzanne was reported missing on Mother's Day. In Salida, near where Suzanne lived, the town decorating Christmas trees at Holiday Park. This annual tradition lets anyone adopt a Christmas tree at Riverside Park to decorate it for their business or nonprofit or in remembrance of a loved one. This year, community members who knew Suzanne from a local hair salon decorated a tree for Suzanne with 200 ornaments in all.
We just took pictures, and Tish made angels and snowflakes, and we just did all kinds of different things, whatever we could think of.
And we also believe that we still have to keep her name out there, so we're going to continue to do whatever is asked of us, and whatever we decide is going to help keep her name out there.
The factory salon in Salida is also raising donations for a brick to be placed at the new skate park to also remind people that Suzanne is still missing. To donate, we have a link on our news website, Fox 21 News.
Okay, that was a beautiful thing too around Christmas time. That obviously wasn't what I wanted to show you, but I'm gonna try to quickly cue it up if I can recover from this. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Got it, guys. All right, you know me. I never give up. Here we go, folks. This is it.
Search for the missing Chaffee County woman.
Suzanne went missing 4 months ago. Now community members organizing a vigil in hopes of bringing her home.
Fox 21's Krista Widiak is at Riverside Park in Salida tonight for the ceremony.
A somber evening here in downtown Salida as the vigil's wrapping up right behind me just after an hour. A pastor came up on stage and did a prayer with the group, as well as Andy Mormon, who went up and spoke about his missing sister, as well as thanking the crews for all their work and search to help bring Suzanne home.
We're going to find her. We're going to find her. We're going to find pieces to the puzzle, and we're going to solve it.
Day 2 of the 6-day search for missing mother of 2, Suzanne Morphew, has come to an end, with her whereabouts still unknown.
We just basically want to do what we can to help bring Suzanne home.
Some volunteers wanting to bring more attention to the cause, organizing a vigil to help.
She just was a wonderful human being, and we just felt like something had to be done, and it was the perfect opportunity, I think, while Andy was here, because at least then we had the family here.
Many coming out to support Andy, Suzanne's older brother, as he is leading the search to bring his sister home.
This city is wonderful. The people in this city are wonderful, and everything they've done is just amazing to me. They didn't know me. Some of them knew Suzanne, but they understand what I'm doing, and I think we started a movement.
A movement, he says, that'll change the lives of anyone that's missing.
If we don't have any success, I'll know I did my best before winter, and like I said, we'll start a movement to find missing people. I think that's really important. There's a lot of them.
Day 3 of the 6-day search is still underway and is supposed to begin tomorrow at 8 a.m. Reporting in Chaffee County, Krista Widiak, Fox 21.
So that was a beautiful coverage that we've shown here. I just wanted to bring you guys back to where we started in the middle towards Christmas time. So without further ado, I want to introduce Suzanne's stepbrother. Thank you, Tommy, for being here with us tonight. I know it's a really tough time for you and your family. My condolences go out to you, your family, the Mormon family, and all involved here. I mean, my heart breaks for you guys, but I want you to know on behalf of the DutyRon community, the Crime Time with DutyRon, we all love and respect you and your family.
Well, thank you, DutyRon, and I really appreciate, Ron, I really appreciate the time that you've allotted me to keep Suzanne's name out there. And I hope I can just share a little bit about how wonderful a human being she was. And I really appreciate the time that you've spent, Mike at Profiling Evil, and Chris in the interview room. All you guys have been such a blessing and a great help. Seriously, a great help to our family.
And I want to just add too quickly into that. Not only was it just us law enforcement, retired old guys, it was a lot of ladies and housewives, women, men. There was just countless numbers. We could sit here all night. The love that was created by your sister is it's beyond comprehension, because it restores my faith in humanity and the goodness. We have so much bad going on in our world, and Lord knows we have so many criminals running the streets. Look at the very person who you thought and everybody else was tricked into believing was a really good guy. He turned out to be a monster who took her life and cut it short. A two-time cancer survivor, an overall wonderful woman, 49 years young, with two beautiful children, grown girls. Tommy, take the audience through what it was like. I know you told me, we had a long conversation on the phone. You came into the family into Suzanne's teen years, but those are some of the best years. Talk about what it was like growing up, or going into becoming a young adult in Alexandria, Indiana.
Well, Alexandria, Indiana, as Andy mentioned in the memorial, is a wonderful town where we actually have the moniker of Small Town USA. And if you could imagine, like, the quintessential small town USA, small town Midwestern town, that's what we were. Good people. And of course, we had a lot of auto workers and Delco Remy and a lot of people that worked in the auto plants there. And unfortunately now, those jobs went away quite a while ago, but the essence is still there, the values. And Suzanne, I've mentioned this before, she's always been one of those people that is just a bright light. A lot of us, when we look at our lives, we know that there's some people out there that may not like us, but I really haven't met one person before this or after this that has anything bad to say about my stepsister, Suzanne. And I've said this before, Melinda, her older sister, said, she was the rose among the thorns. And again, not that the other brothers and sisters are thorns, they're not. They're wonderful people, seriously wonderful family. But she just is a high bar. I mean, she's always been that person who was there for her friends when they were down. She's always been that person to try to lift up your spirits with positivity. She has a deep faith, always has had a deep faith in God. But what's beautiful about Suzanne is that she never was preachy. She never shoved it down anybody's throat. She walked the walk, okay? Quietly, conservatively, caringly. She didn't force her beliefs on anybody. She just walked her beliefs. She actions speak louder than words, and hers was a faith in action. And everybody loved her, and for a reason. Growing up where we grew up, again, small town USA, and the big thing was cruising on the weekends. High school football games, baseball games, just band practice. I could hear it from my house. My house and her house were maybe a half mile across the golf course. Okay. And we could, in the summers, you could hear the band practicing, and there was football practice in August, the hot football practice, and as I mentioned before, the first time I met Suzanne was we were cruising.
I love this story.
Yeah, sorry, we were. For those of you who've heard this before, I apologize, but it's a great story. So we were cruising. We were cruising in Alexandria. There's one street, Harrison Street, and it cuts right down the middle. And there's 3 stoplights, and my father's, who was a doctor in our small town, we'll get to later, his clinic was there on that street. But anyway, we all cruised through, and I was cruising in my buddy's 69 Chevelle, and this group of girls pulled up next to us, very cute girls, and They're like, I heard, "Hey, Tommy Owen," and I rolled down the window. Hi.
Who, me?
Yeah, me. It's just beautiful girl, right? And a little bit younger, younger than me. But I was just like, I was like, "Do I know you?" And she goes, "Well, I don't know, but my mom's dating your dad." so that's and the thing that I want to, a couple of years later, they ended up getting married, and she became my stepsister. And the thing that I want to reiterate here is the fact that Suzanne wasn't flirting with me. That's just Suzanne. She saw me, and she knew that, her mom was dating my dad, and she just wanted to identify herself and say hi, welcome, and hi,
It's part of her emulating her goodness.
It is totally her goodness. It's not, there was no like, hey, it wasn't like that. I mean, and so that's just how she was. She always stuck up for the underdog. She always would I said this before, people tend to exaggerate about other people's qualities when they passed over or when they're not with us anymore. But in this case, it's not the case. It's she really,
when you had your conversation with Chris, I listened to that like twice over, and I was there during the whole thing. I was in the live chat, just like all of these folks here. There's 300 or so people, or 240 something people. My takeaway is that it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't just something that people say, at a funeral, oh, he was a good guy, she was a good person. This comes from genuine experience. People seeing like your first impression. The girls roll the window down and they're like, "Oh, are you Tommy?" You're like, "Me?"
Yeah, talking to me. Yeah.
And then she wanted to tell you that your dad is dating her mom, right? So you were like, "Oh, okay."
And if you can imagine it, because I mean, the viewers won't know because unfortunately a lot of them never had the opportunity to meet Suzanne. Right. But her sense of humor was so light and not forced. And as I said before, like she's got this like bright smile, and it was just delivered perfectly. Like, you may not know this, but right. And that's the beautiful thing about it, because her sense of humor was just, we both, like, she loved to hear about my exploits in Los Angeles and later in life, and she was bust out. She has this belly laugh. She's just great. It's just great.
Yeah, and that's something that you can't really fake that. People see that, so that's the takeaway I had from all of the conversations. And I told you yesterday, one of my longtime subscribers and followers, and Tracy has been following and subscribing to me for 4 years. So long before this happened, she grew up in the hometown or in that area. And went to school. I don't know the exact name of the school. I didn't ask her, but I want to read to you quickly what she wrote to me. So this is from Tracy Harvey, who's and she's here in the chat. She's here. Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
Tracy, make yourself known. Say hello to Tommy. So I asked Tracy, I told her that you were coming on. I said, would you, come on and talk with Tommy? And she was like, she's like my wife, kind of shy. I'm married 30 years. So I try to put my wife on camera because she's a lot better looking than me. And my wife always says, no, I don't want to be on. Real Gone Gonzo, thank you for that super chat. Shine bright for Suzanne. We are always here. This is a guy who...
Thanks, Real Gone.
Yeah, I don't know if you know about him, Tommy, but he walked along Barry and got that infamous interview.
That's him?
This is the guy, yeah.
Oh, God, thank you. So, you know what? I just want, if I have a second, okay?
Oh,
because I just feel like that you've kind of been like lost in the shuffle, man. And this is directly to you. I want to thank you because that took courage, and I really appreciate, because I really think that what you did, Real Gone was vital. Okay, I never forgot it. Our family hasn't forgotten it, and I want the rest of the community to know that what he did. Hey Tracy, what he did was like so important. So I know I've seen some comments in the past about, hey, what about what the video that he did? And they're absolutely right. Okay, right. You need recognition, and I want to thank you, brother.
All right. So I'm getting corrected. It was Tyson, but the real gun.
Yeah, Tyson. I'm sorry, Rogan. So it's Tyson.
Yeah,
sorry.
but that was my fault because I mixed them up, and that's because I'm old. But those two are friends, and they're on the same. They're doing the same thing. They're
Well,
out
Tyson,
there.
thank you, brother.
Yeah. So Tyson, thank you, and Gonzo, thank you.
Thank you.
I gave you a little for street credit, but he's been covering your sister's case as well. But yes, that was awesome. Thank you. And I think that was very necessary, Tommy. I appreciate you doing that here on my platform because he did really, this may come in, he may actually be subpoenaed to come in and testify during the trial. So,
Tracy.
Yeah, you never know. Tracy, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Bring Suzanne home from your classmate of 89. So
Tracy, I think if I'm not mistaken, Tracy, did you grow up in Arestas? I think so. But it's right outside. Just literally, it's basically the same town.
All right, we'll see if she answers that. Thank you, Vinny, from Gilroy, the garlic capital of the world, Gilroy, California. Thank you,
Gilroy.
Vinny. Yes. So this is what Tracy typed to me, and I didn't even ask her for it. I just asked her if she wanted to come with you. She said, "This is what I will say about Suzanne Morphew. She was outgoing, always had a smile on her face, was kind to everyone. She was a cheerleader and a mascot. I believe she was in German club, and she wasn't 100% about that. Her high school boyfriend was named David. The time they broke up, I believe, was senior year, was the only time I ever saw her sad. She was a smart and articulate young woman, always helpful to those that needed it. With our senior year, we lost a classmate in a car wreck. He said he sat in between us, in between me and Suzanne, I guess she's referring to. Suzanne, comforted me when we came back to school because we were all distraught after losing him. I was not in her main group of friends, but we were friends. God bless, and may Suzanne Morphew rest in peace." So that was really nice, Tracy, to send that to me. Again, I know that a lot of women are shy to come on and come into the big stage here, and Tommy's an actor by trade, right? And I think you're doing a little bit of real estate and stuff like that.
Real estate as well. I'm a real estate agent here in Los Angeles as well.
So awesome. Again, not everybody is good with the bright lights and the cameras. And in the beginning, I wasn't good with it either. So it was a little bit of stage fright I had to go over to get into YouTube. But now I'm like a ham. So I ham it up all the time. But see, this, Tommy, is just a testament to the power of the internet. Again, Tracy did not start subscribing and following me because of your sister, but it just so happened to, when this case broke, last year on Mother's Day, Tracy right away messaged me. And she said, Ron, out of all the people, because I don't think my King was even on YouTube or just was starting then, she said, if anybody's capable of covering this case in a respectful and a dignified manner, it's you. And so she started giving me information about Suzanne and what kind of a wonderful person she was. And at that time she was saying because we were all, just like you and everybody else, hopeful that maybe in the beginning that we might be able to find her. And and I say this in a most respectful way. That I'm in the law enforcement field, and we get attached to these cases at certain times. And your family and the Mormon family, the way you described the two, the way they welcomed you with open arms is heartwarming, because I too have a stepbrother and a stepsister, and I had the same situation when my father remarried. And my stepmom is still alive. She's almost 80, and God bless her. She took me, and I was just a young kid when they got married, and she treated me just like I was her own son. And it sounds like it was almost similar to you as the
exactly. Yeah, Adrian, her mom, my stepmom, and Suzanne's mom Suzanne had a lot of her traits, and just wonderful, beautiful woman. Right. I'd come back from school, from college, and it's like, here, let me cook you something. No. I'm like, no, sit, that kind of thing. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah. So a couple of folks are chiming in. Tyson and Gonzo and AK are the best. Yeah, it's a group of 3 guys. They're, they do things that you and I probably couldn't do because of our advanced age. But they're out there rock climbing and going into, brush. I'd go into that brush with my 9mm on me, but meanwhile, I'd need probably a rifle. So I'd probably be dead in the woods. But at the end of the day, these are adventure kind of guys, and they were out there really kicking rocks and looking for things. So kudos to it's a community effort. We have our law enforcement, the local, state, and federal. We know that they did a great job in Chaffee County, and that sheriff Speasy took a lot of crap. He took a lot of shit for the lack of press conferences, the lack of communication. And I know you, Tommy, I'm sure you were frustrated a little bit.
I was very frustrated in the beginning.
You want to talk about how that is for a family of a loved one that's missing? How frustrating is that?
It's crazy. I mean, I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, at the time, thinking to myself, where's the news coverage? I mean, we talk about the Scott Peterson case, the Chris Watts case. Where's all the cameras? Where's the exposure? Where's the pressure being put on him? And but to their defense, they had a plan. They're professionals. I'm not. And my heart and my thanks, my gratitude completely goes out to all the members of law enforcement, the FBI, the CBI, local surgeon, and everybody and everyone who called in for, was it 1,400 tips, I think, something like that. Everybody that's called in and helped and kept this going. I had a friend.
They did over 400. I don't mean to cut you off, Tommy, because that's the last thing I want to do, brother. But in addition to the 1,400 tips that came into the tip line, they conducted 400 interviews. They kept the home on Puma Path 11 days. Okay, that's processing 11 days. That is an extensive process that they did. And they took, and that's what, the old cliche, no stone gets left unturned. And literally, that house was almost lined with brick stones all around it. But they left no stone unturned when it came to the forensics piece. And I wanted, this is about all I'm going to say about the investigation, just so everybody knows out there. And I've mentioned this a few times, so that's why I'm going to say it. And this is all I'm going to delve into as far as the FBI and CBI. The county sheriffs, they don't do any of this stuff. But social media, the computers, and all of their electronic footprint is going to play instrumental. A major part of this case is circumstantial evidence, and it's going to be a mound of it. So the electronic footprint of not only Suzanne's phone, Barry's phone, and computers are going to play a major part in this case. And we're going to hear about it during trial. You're not going to hear about it any other time. Discovery is going to just be around and about of what they have. But the inner workings, of course, the defense team is going to get everything. They have to give it all up to them. But we will, as civilians and folks listening from the outside in, will get everything at trial. And we're going to hear it. Mark my words. The electronic footprint is going to be instrumental in this case. So, again, I'm sorry that I cut you off and I probably messed your train of thought up. But if you want to continue with what you were saying, please continue. But I had
no, that's fine. No, I was just saying that, my thanks goes to them. And I had a friend that one of my acting teachers, his brother is a retired FBI agent, and I went back door. I tried to get, he knew somebody that was in the Denver field office. And so he put out his little feelers and he told me they're keeping everything close to their vest.
Yeah.
So just be patient, let the professionals do their job. And so, I took that to heart. It's like, well,
the interesting part about what I process in my head when I think about this, Tommy, is like, I look at Suzanne and all the goodness that she emulated and all of the, she was religious, right? She was a healthy.
She was religious, but it's not like in your face.
Right, right. I mean, my aunt is a Catholic nun, so she would drag me
Right.
to church every day.
I went to Catholic school.
Right?
Yeah.
She'd like, grab me. She'd come with the habits on in the '60s when I was growing up. I'm a '64 baby, so in like 1972, we would all hide behind the couch. My parents had the thick plastic on the couch,
Plastic on the couch. Yeah, man.
everything. But right, we would jump over the plastic and heave into the back where there was the light pole from the floor to the ceiling with the lights on it, and we would hide from my aunt because she came with a whole like a gang of nuns, and they would want to take us to church on Saturday, and we were like, wait a minute, we go on Sunday, why do we gotta go Saturday?
Saturday at 5 o'clock, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But my my point is that she was she believed in God, and she was her faith was strong, right? But she also took up some domestic violence type workshops and things of that nature in Colorado. So it got me thinking:
Sorry. I apologize, everyone. I'm next to a hospital.
Yeah. And as McDonough says, that's Barry Morphew's new theme song. That's his walkout song when we bring him out to go to court. But so what I was trying to say is that it makes me think two things. Number one, she was always very helpful and giving to people. Maybe she just wanted to try to help other people, or maybe she was in a situation. We won't know that because she's not here to tell us about it. So a lot of people, unfortunately, ask that question, and I wanted to get that out of the way. I have it written down on my extensive notepad that I wrote, a couple of things here, and I'm just really going off of memory. But that is one of the many questions that I have written down here that folks were asking about. Why was she doing that? Do you have any insight or any indication for when she was in Indiana? Was that a passion of hers, like domestic violence, or no?
No, and again, it's not unusual for Suzanne to do things and not let anybody know. She just does it for no notoriety. I personally never saw any signs. However, and I don't think I'm giving away anything that hasn't already been spoken. I said this before. Yeah. Melinda said that she received a text message on Friday, and I don't know what was on that text message. And I think Melinda's the only one that knows. Maybe law enforcement, I don't know. But evidently on that text message, there was something.
All right, so that'll come up in trial, I'm sure.
Right.
I'm sure that'll be part of it.
But personally, I never saw anything, and that. Yeah.
So Suzanne's siblings were Andy and Melinda, right?
Andy, Melinda, and David.
David, right. So don't hear much about David, but that's fine. Andy, we know, has been a huge advocate for his baby sister. But what I want to touch on with you, and if you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. Melinda Mormon forgives Barry, right? And she states she feels like financial stress of living beyond their means played a part in this. She also states that living beyond your means creates an atmosphere of discontent and strife. Now, I mean, that was to me, and if you don't want to get into this, I understand. But to me, that says something. That's another person's view, right? Because, like you said, you weren't in contact with Suzanne every day. My stepbrother and my stepsister, I think I talked to them, more on social media than I do on the phone or texting direct. Like they'll send me stuff like when I post some of my videos, or if I post stuff on Instagram of my kids and my family. My stepbrother and sister will send me little digs like, "Hey, you gained 5 pounds, lose some weight, fatso," or whatever, just funny, cute little things like that. But Melinda says she forgives Barry. Where are you at with that?
Well, Melinda is a Christian all the way down. Melinda is a beautiful soul, a lot like Suzanne. And she's a beautiful, beautiful person. I value her friendship so much. I am not there. I have no forgiveness. I have no kumbaya. Zero. I want, if it comes out that they prove that he's done this. Again, everyone is presumed innocent. He's innocent until proven guilty. But if it comes out, I have no forgiveness for you, man. Zero. I love your family. Nothing against the family. Nothing. I feel bad for them as well. But for Barry Morphew, zero.
Yeah.
And, sorry, it's just where I'm at.
Yeah, and you know, Tommy, there's no reason to be sorry about that, because I can tell you this, coming from a crime victim myself, my cousin, my first cousin, same last name as me, Ralph Picardi, he was murdered by Osama bin Laden and his terrorist organization. And my aunt said to me, my aunt, the Catholic nun, she said, you have to forgive them. And I said, Aunt Joan, she's better known as Sister Camille D'Arienzo. I said, I can't do it. They took Ralph away at 30 years old and 2,800 other souls. How are we supposed to forgive these people? But under the Catholic religion, it says that you're supposed to forgive. But I have a hard time forgiving. You know,
I agree with the concept, but I'm not going to BS anybody.
No.
You know, maybe it would be healthier. Maybe it would be the thing to do. But I can't do it.
It's too raw.
Not now.
It's too raw.
No, and you know, the mother of your children,
right?
Two-time cancer survivor, beautiful person like that.
No.
And then to continue on with the facade, the charade, the game, the video, the whole.
Yeah, that's what makes it 2 times or 100 times worse, is because he went on and led everybody on a wild goose chase.
Yeah, man.
You know, the video of, hey, we want you back. I mean, all of our analysis folks, the people that I have from the FBI, the retired guys who do, you know, behavioral studies, they read right through that. And he didn't fool anybody with that 26-second statement. But what he did fool is his entire family, almost his whole life, because people, even Tracy Harvey said that, you know, basically everybody in Alexandria are torn. They don't know what to do right now.
And I understand that. I completely understand that. And I have no animosity to any of my hometown folks, man. I completely get it. I was torn. Like, you know, there's always that. See, this is what these people do. This is what this type of personality does. I want to be clear about this. This is their trump card. Okay? This is their angle. And it's an angle. They've proceeded to live their life with this facade of, or with good deeds of being the golden boy, of being the good person, and so how could you possibly think that I would do this? Okay? So that's the angle. That's the narcissist sociopathic angle. Okay? They're never going to admit to it. Let me be clear about that. I don't think so. I don't want to speak out of turn. But that's the angle. They play on your emotions. They've worked you. They've manipulated you into thinking that there's this type of personality, when behind the scenes, and they mentioned this, the private life, the private mind, somewhere it went wrong, man. Somewhere the switch went.
The
wire got crossed, something happened, the button was pushed. And so when these people can no longer manipulate the situation, when they're face to face it, when they're forced to face what the consequence is, they have 2 choices. Okay? Either they admit it, they break and they admit it, a la Chris Watts. Or they shove their chips all in and they stay with a lie. That's it. Okay, so I have no animosity towards anybody. And I'm you know, look, okay, I may be getting ahead of myself because we don't know. I mean, we got to go through. We got to keep, you know, in the back of my mind. Sometimes I'm like, I told, you know, my now, you know, unfortunately my now ex-girlfriend, but we're still close. You know, she's from the very beginning. She was, she saw the video. No, ain't buying it. And I'm like, well, you know, really, honey? I mean, maybe, no. And so there's always like, what if? You know? Oh my God, what if What if he really didn't? And then we're just, how horrible are we? You see, that's the angle, man. That's the angle.
Yeah. Well, it's part of the process, and in our mind, no, don't be sorry.
I am.
Tommy, brother, listen, this is raw. You are going through a difficult time, and you know what?
My family, my immediate, my stepbrothers and sisters are going through a really, really horrible time, and I'm feeling protective of them, and it's just.
But it's good. It's good that you do this. This is actually, for me, and I know this to be true. It is therapeutic. This is a platform for you to actually let your family and all the people know. This is kind of like a mouthpiece for your extended family.
Yeah, and sorry. And another pet peeve of mine. I was speaking about how Suzanne does these good deeds, and she's a Christian she walks the walk without letting anybody know. I cannot stand hypocrites. I detest people who use religion as a buffer. Their Christianity, their faith, whatever it may be, as a buffer to act like they're this thing, when behind the scenes, they're the complete opposite. It makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah. And that's, again, that's out there. And we have this in all of these type of cases where you have people that do these type of things. And I can't agree with you more. I'm with you 1,000% on that. Again, folks, in the chat, I know that there's a lot of people. I've been ignoring the chat. So, Tommy, I'm going to take a minute to just give us a breather here. Let me know where you're watching. Let's do a roll call quickly, and then we will move on to the next segment. Let me know where you're watching, city, state, and country, and we will say hello to you quickly. I appreciate everybody being in here and also your respect that you're showing. I see the chat messages.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody.
I'm trying to concentrate on Tommy and my guest here and the content that we're going to be bringing you here and stay on point. I have a bunch of little bullet points here that I want to cover, and I'm almost 3/4 of the way through it. So Michigan, Johnston, Colorado, Fisherman, Indiana, Danville right now. Thank you to Washington State. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you. California, Colorado, Mississippi, Ireland. Great to see you. South Africa. Great to see you. Thank you for joining. Gerda from South Africa, another good friend of ours. Special thank you to everyone chiming in. Yes, this is emotional. Yes. Listen, I say this all the time, and Tommy, you probably never heard me say it, but there are real people behind these crime cases that are covered nationally, and folks sometimes lose track that there are real families that are broken and torn apart because of one person's actions.
Right, on both sides now. So
right.
Let's,
yeah. We're talking about on the Morphew side and on the Mormon side and on the Owen side. There's actually 3 dynamics that are in here now. But at the end of the day, people have to realize is that your words have consequences, and people see certain things, and whether you're supporting the law enforcement and the folks who are trying to bring justice and to get to the bottom, whether Barry is innocent or guilty, he's presumed innocent until proven guilty. Yes. The burden of proof is on the state, is on the prosecutor. So Linda Stanley, we need to now get behind her and give her whatever support that she needs and prayers or whatever it is that you do to try to bring support to the folks that are charging this case. That's what we call it in the business. They're charging this case. They need to bring forth a good case, a solid case, and we have to make sure that whoever's responsible for this, and right now it's Barry Morphew is being accused. The accused, we get a true bill indictment, which is next, and then we get a guilty verdict at a trial. Those are the 2 steps that we need to go through now, and that is a long road, and that is a tough emotional battle that the families, that her children, and we didn't even talk about her 2 children, Mallory and Macy. There's a lot of folks out there that are throwing shade at these poor girls, and I got to tell you,
no, man, no, don't.
Not in our chat, but I'm
saying in general.
Yeah, nobody here is doing that, but at the end of the day, I see, and I never ever dive into that because we don't know the inner workings and the dynamics between Suzanne and her daughters. We know through you and through others, Tommy, that like any good mother, her children are her world, right?
We don't know the workings of Barry and his daughters either.
Correct. And for anybody to start pointing fingers at either inactions or actions, that is 100% wrong, and that defeats the whole purpose of supporting hands down this family. I want to just say quickly right here, I made a decision when I first spoke to you on Saturday. We spoke on Saturday. You were working on your car.
Yeah.
I am going to do something that I do for a lot of families of crime. I am going to send a $500 donation to you, Tommy, for you to use any way you want, whether it's for, listen, let me finish. If you want to use it for food when you have a memorial service, whether you want to use it for a donation to a favorite charity, this is in your sister's name from me, not from DutyRon channel. This is from my family to yours. And at the end of this live stream, you're going to give me the coordinates, and I'm going to send it to you. That's from me to you, and that goes to anything that you want to use towards your sister. Either if you guys in the future have a memorial service or a funeral, and people get together and you want to buy food, you have that $500 in your pocket from me to you.
Ron, you've done so much anyway, and I'm seriously, just this is enough, and I really appreciate that, and I'll make sure it goes to Suzanne.
And again, like I said, I made that decision. I had a conversation with my wife on Saturday. I was sitting on my outside patio in the back, and she was down on the lower level. I went up to have some quiet time and talk with you, but she overheard the conversation, and then I had a conversation with her, and I said, I want to send. She's like, send, yes. So that's from not from the channel. It's from me to you and your family.
Thank you. And I know times are tough. And times are tough right now. I really appreciate that.
Good. It's more than like I said. For me, I wish I could do more, but at the end,
man, come on.
But that's what I want to do for. And this is from your sister coming to you. So that's the least that I could do.
Man, that is so.
Tommy,
I'm sorry, man.
We love you, brother.
That is so sweet of you, man.
Yeah. Listen, I've been here a whole year, over a year with you, and this hits us all hard. So grab a minute to gather.
I'm good. I'm sorry. It's
okay.
touching.
It's all right, brother. It's all right, man. Listen, this is what law enforcement and this is what good people do. This is what we do. We support other folks. And I'm going to tell you quickly, and most people that follow me and subscribe to me know what my plan was. I was going to, before the arrest on the 5th, I was on Mother's Day going to donate up the ante on the reward money. I was going to add $1,000 from my channel to that reward money and make it $201,000. But things changed. The plan changed. So now I'm going to pass forward this $500 to you. That was going to come to from my channel to the reward money, but we never got a chance to put that plan in action because Barry got arrested. So again,
I'll send that on to Andy.
Yeah, whatever you want to do, brother, it's up to you. Again, you want to, whatever. I'm good with it. But listen, folks, we had an idea, Tommy and I, and we're coming up on 48 minutes. I promised him 30, and now I'm hitting him with an eye sock. He's crying now. So Tommy, crying tears of joy is a good thing. Those tears are tears of joy. So, listen, it's. Again, we have nothing but love and respect for you and your family and for all involved here. Everyone from the community in Alexandria to high school friends like Tracy Harvey, and there's probably hundreds of others who...
I love you, Tracy. Thank you.
Yeah, hundreds of others who have been touched by Suzanne over the course of time. And we have people in the chat. A lot of the ladies have their tears. Everyone's got their tissues out. again, a lot of support, and I promised about 3 to 5 minutes of Q&A. I know this might be a bad time for you. If it's not good, then we won't do that. And
No, it's fine. That's fine.
So anyone who has questions, please highlight the chat with capital letters or super chat. So Jessica Shades, I think I screwed up her name, is Jessica. I think it might be right. Shades says, good people deserve good things. So there you go. This is coming straight from a good person to a good surviving stepbrother here. So Tommy, again, that's I guess that comment is in regards to the $500 donation.
I see Joe Murray says he'll match your 500. Thank you.
Thank you. Princess Michelle says justice for Suzanne and sends in a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you, Princess Michelle. Miss Q says DutyRon is a boss. There's my friend from Twitter Live. She's been subscribed and following me for almost 5 years. Thank you, Missy Q, for your love and respect. I appreciate it. Ron, did you see what Joe Murray said? No, I got to go back. I'm sorry. All right, let me go back. Could Joe Murray put that comment again, and I'll highlight it? Again, I'm here alone. So
he said,
Joe Murray, let me know. Where is he? Let me know the coordinates. What was that? Oh my gosh. I can't find it. The chat is just going crazy right now. So Joe Murray, send the message again so I can highlight it. Where did it go? Shit. Tommy, I hate when this happens.
No, it's technology.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Joe Murray, I will match your 500, brother. So you got 1,000 coming out to you, Tommy. I missed that. I'm so proud to call you a friend. Joe is a retired NYPD police officer. We worked in the same department together, but he is now a criminal defense attorney. So he is an attorney. There's Tommy showing off his NYPD garb. Excellent.
Just support for you guys. Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much.
All right, I think I blew away my chat. Well, nobody has any questions for you, Tommy, so that's a good thing. As we spoke about, I want to end this live stream on a positive note, but I want to remember Suzanne by playing a virtual candle. We're going to light a candle for Suzanne as we end this, and please, everybody, light yours, and let's get this going. I'm going to let this run for about 2 minutes. Light up the chat with hearts and prayers. Tommy, do me a favor. Don't go anywhere when I end it, and we'll come back live, me and you, and we'll talk about the coordinates for the fundage for you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for keeping Suzanne's name and memory alive.
Any final parting words for the folks? Because we are going to segue off once I'm done with this. Tommy, anything for the troops here?
I just wanted to thank everybody that's watching, everybody that's concerned, everybody that supports Suzanne, everybody that cares. It does not go unnoticed. Your prayers are appreciated. Your thoughts. The family thanks you. Thank you.
Yes. So Tommy can't express his appreciation anymore here. And I know you're overwhelmed with a bit of emotion here, but again, remember this. I'm gonna end with our conversation right now. This goodness is coming from the goodness of your stepsister and your entire both sides of the family. This is coming from the Mormons, the Morphews, the Owen. This is a way that so many people want to just hug and hold you guys close. Okay, so this is a way to show our appreciation and our sympathy for your family, for everything that's going on. So we're going to end this in 2 minutes. I'm going to go full screen, and let's all light it up with hearts and prayer emojis and kind words for Suzanne Morphew and for Tommy Owen, the stepbrother. Thank you for coming on with us. I love and respect you, and I appreciate you taking the time out to be
Ron,
here.
thank you so much. Thank you for your show. Thank you for Josh for your back team. everyone involved.
Yes.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, we're going to end it with this. Thank you, everybody, for your kindness and your love for Suzanne Morphew and the Mormon and the Owen family and the Morphew family. Good night from New York City, and God bless. As I always end these live streams, God bless the world, God bless the United States of America, and God bless each and every one of us here in the chat and all victims of crime and their families across the world. Thank you from New York City, and good night.